Let's get salty!
Everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and it is finally time. It has arrived. Titans, the latest Hearthstone expansion, will go live today, just a few hours after this video goes live. And as usual, I want to give you guys a deck for every class to try out. I'm not recommending crafting anything. We have no idea what's good, but I thought I'd go through some spicy lists submitted by Vicious Syndicate. They gave 40 total decks. I will link this below if you want to check it out. If the decks I post aren't what are interesting you, maybe there are some more to check out here, but I wanted to highlight one from each class that is a bit more interesting, but maybe it'll actually have a shot to win. And a shout out, we will be streaming all of this live today when the expansion goes live at twitch.tv/Zeddy. Should be around 10 a.m. Pacific. I'll be on a little bit earlier than that. We'll be going on all day, trying out all sorts of different decks, standard, wild, maybe some achievement hunting, maybe some friendly games, and I've got like something like over 300 packs to open up. Maybe we'll get some signatures. So come on over, twitch.tv/Zeddy. Should be a lot of fun, and I hope to see you there. I've also selected the winners for the Tavern Passes, the two I'm giving away out of my pocket. They've been messaged, contacted. If I don't be back for them in 24 hours, I will select new winners. And thank you everyone who has supported the channel. Enter these giveaways. There's always more coming, so stay tuned. Thank you all so much for your support. And well, let's take a look at the decks. I do want to note one of them I kind of changed a little bit because I am adamant about one card being good that everyone is writing off. So the rogue list I changed. You might have an idea of what I'm talking about when we get to it. But starting off, Plague, Deathlight. A lot of people are really excited to try this out. It's really the only new thing Deathlight is getting this expansion, so it's either gonna work or it's not. And this is more of like a mid-range version built around all the plagues. Staff of the Primus, you have Distressed Cavalier, Down with the Ship, and of course your big payoff card, Hell Yeah, which shuffles all three plagues, and when they're drawn, they deal 2 damage, and this basically makes them go endlessly unless they're somehow milled or steam cleanered. And there's also some survivability course with like Magatha, Hollowhound. You have the new Titan in here, the Primus, which is basically gonna go in every Deathlight deck because it's insane. Looks like your usual kind of Deathlight deck with some Discover and the usual shenanigans. But hey, maybe a non-triple rune deck will have a shot, and this is as good as it's gonna get, at least until there's some new cards. Next, I'm sorry, there's just nothing to really get excited about with Demon Hunter. Their card draw thing doesn't really work with the card pool. So yes, I am going to recommend Relic Demon Hunter with 2 new cards in Jotun the Eternal, which basically will cast the first spell drawn each turn, a copy of it, and targeted enemies. So that's really good. It's like free relics, free removal, just super solid, as well as the new Titan, Argus the Emerald Star. Can give your minions rush, a lifesteal. You can summon some taunts, get some mana cheat on your minions in hand, or discover a death rattle minion if you're feeling really crazy. But yes, this is the least spicy of the list. It's just Relic Demon Hunter, and I do expect this deck to be quite good. Next, we have the Ignis Ramp Druid with Ignis the Eternal Flame, which when you log in, when the expansion goes live, you will get this for free today. So not a legendary you need to craft, but well, there are some, you know, legendaries you might need to craft. You have like Freya, Eonar, we got Puzzle or Prison of Yogg Saron, but it's all about Drum Circle, playing Drum Circle, playing Disciple of Eonar before that, and basically getting 5 treants, buffing them all up, getting a large board. You have your hero power stuff in there for the early game to kind of get you to your end game of just a lot of stats, Astalor, and just, yeah, it looks pretty sweet. Looks like a lot of big stuff. Will it be good? Who knows? But we also have Lifebinder's Gift, which will allow you to cheat some mana and generate value, which is also pretty darn good. We have the Hunter deck. I'm gonna go with there's a lot of recommendations of like the bigger Beast Hunter, but I feel like the more spicier pick is to go a bit more aggressive. I think people are going to be very greedy day one, and a more aggressive Secret Hunter that takes advantage of cards like Star-Strung Bow, which you could cheat out, possibly for 0 mana. You have 6 secrets proc. You have the new Titan Agrimar, which equips a giant weapon that can smark. And if it for some reason gets removed, you can play Star-Strung Bow. And if Agrimar's still there, buff it up. So that's kind of interesting. You have Titan Forged Trap, gives you 2 secrets for 1 as long as you have Forged. And of course, Awakening Tremors. And every time I face this, at least in Arena, really annoying. You got to deal with these 4 ones, and when you have 3 of them so easily, yeah, it's kind of a pain in the butt, and it's just a really aggressive deck that I think could have some success. You're looking maybe for a bit more faster games, trying to win a little bit quicker and not having to have too many cards. This might be the way to go. Next, we have the Spell School Mage, one of the decks I'm most looking forward to playing. I don't think this list is optimal because it's missing Solid Alibi, and I don't see any Mage deck that doesn't want to run Solid Alibi. I'm going to try it because I hate that card and I hope it works without it, but chances are some of these cards are going to get cut for a Solid Alibi. But you have the new Spell School stuff in here, like Discovery of Magic, Molten Rune, Inquisitive Creation, Wisdom of Narganon, and of course the Titan Narganon itself, just a decent drop, right? Giving some disruption, maybe dealing some damage. It's totally fine, and if it sticks around, especially you reverberation it, you can really abuse it. And of course you have your win con of Sif with incredible burst damage with your Arcane Worms, giving you bolts, flame geysers, and of course Molten Rune, and maybe Elemental Inspiration works out, but this card I feel like is probably going to turn into Solid Alibi pretty quickly, as those 4/5s, at least to me, don't feel super impactful. But hey, it's day one. It's the time to try this stuff out, so we'll be doing that. Next for Paladin, I had an Earthen deck. You can check out the Vicious Syndicate list if you want, but I thought I'd go mechs. We'll recommend mechs to, you know, try and give some more aggression alongside a lot of this greedy stuff. And yeah, we got new mechs in here like Drone Deconstructor, X21 Repair Bot, which can give you really good value slapping magnetics on it. But the big card, Inventor's Aura, giving you that mana cheat. Your mechs cost 1 less in the last 2 turns, can be really solid. And the Noble Mini Bot, and also the new core set card, Crusader Aura, is super good when you have a bunch of stuff on board. It's like a permanent Savage Roar with a health buff. That is absolutely good. The only issue I see with this deck is you really need to draw a radar detector, and you don't have a great way of tutoring it, and you also don't have a great way of like tutoring Inventor's Aura, because in Wild, you radar detector to like Mech Warp or Galvanizer. I feel like this deck won't be quite consistent enough, but give it a shot. A lot of these cards are already standard, already in the game, and the new cards aren't exactly that expensive, so if you open those up, you can definitely give this deck a try if you're more on that budget option. Next, I'm not recommending Standard Control Priest, which is probably the better option. We're going Astral Automaton Pogo Control Priest, where you make a bunch of automatons with your Animate Dead. You can get more with Celestial Projectionist, Creation Protocol, and Raw Dead, which probably isn't very good. And of course, you get the new Titan here at Amenthal, but it's still all about, you know, controlling infinite value with Sister's Fulna, Mana Cheat with Love Everlasting, and Identity Theft. And you can even copy your automatons with any, or give them a lifesteal with a Ziliax. It's probably not great, but hey, it's something new for Priest, right? And that's all they really got this set. And I wanted to recommend at least something a little bit spicier. But yeah, Control Priest with like a couple new cards is probably the way to go. Next is the deck I modified. It's quite similar to what I played in Theory Crafting, the Mech Rogue mixed with Concoction. So you have the whole Concoction package with like Potion Belt, Putricide. Oh, sorry, that signature just triggers me. Gotta get rid of that. But you got the new cards in here. Mimiron. For some reason, nobody believes in Lab Constructor but me, but I'm sticking with it. Getting this card, getting either forging it and slapping it onto another mech, or playing it unforged and slapping like a Spark Bot onto it, can be incredibly powerful, super snowbally, and I do believe Voltron Prime to be a good card. A lot of people are down on that one too. I feel like it's got a shot, but the rest of the deck is basically like that Miracle Rogue package that's kind of, you know, tested and true, just no location. I took that out as I feel like the snowball of a Lab Constructor is a lot better than just one big thing from the location, which a lot of these cards might not even get to that well. So that's my deviation. I got to put my Lab Constructor, I got to give it some love, you know, before it flops and I'm like, oh yeah, I was wrong after all. But hey, Maybe I'll be right. Next we have Shaman, which, yeah, the nature stuff. Mana cheat, flash of lightning, draw a card. Your next turn, your nature spells cost 1 less. You can do absolutely disgusting stuff with like bioluminescence, cheating out Crash of Thunders, as well as just setting up a Champion of Storms, getting a board full of just rushers. Be absolutely ridiculous. And you're just throwing some endgame in here. Yeah, endgame in Horde of the Windlord, which goes pretty darn well with your Turn of the Tides, giving you that Doomhammer Rockbiter type of feel. And of course, the new Titan Golganeth the Thunderer. Absolutely ridiculous. Get a massive AoE, can destroy basically any minion on the board. Really good stuff. Or you can even draw cards, which is pretty helpful when you're trying to set up a big OTK. And hey, I'll be able to use my signature Inza, so it's gotta be worth giving a go, right? Next we have Warlock, probably the deck I'm the most excited to play because it has Sargeras the Destroyer. It's basically the whole Thaddeus Undead Warlock, very similar to what I played in Theory Crafting. It's got Loken in here, Jailer of Yogg-Saron, drawing that minion, getting a big taunt. But overall, there's a lot more good defensive tools available to this deck that weren't there before, like Forge of Wills, being able to copy one of your big minions, give it rush, that copy rush, allowing you to fight for board, mortal eradication, allowing you to heal up, remove things. And we got like Cube, Ravenous Kraken. You can destroy one of your minions and bring it back. So that can be pretty good, in particular with Shallow Grave, where all of a sudden you're getting 2 copies back. And of course, Symphony of Sins. You guys know I absolutely love this card. Very scammy, hard to call it a control deck. I'll try my best to justify it, but it will absolutely be. I'm going to try all these decks for the most part, but this is one that I really want to take advantage of. And lastly, we have the Armor Warrior OTK deck. I feel like the Elemental, you know, this whole Steam Guardian in a Black Rock and Roll is probably going to be like the most popular thing, but I'm more of a purist. You know, I want to try and control a little bit, and this deck is trying to fight for early game board with your Rifts, with your removal, and you really want to get Odin Prime Designate, turning your armor, well, not turning it, but whenever you gain armor, gaining incredible damage, playing like a Tidal Revenant. It deals 5, you gain 8. That's 13 damage. You just gotta, you know, get around taunts and all of that. And Minotaurin, which is also a new card. A lot of new cards in here, like Craftsman's Hammer, Stone Skin Armor, again, Steam Guardian, and Bellowing Flames. We're going to try this for sure. We're going to try all of it, and I hope I see you guys later, just in a few hours. Twitch.tv/Zeddy. Nova will most certainly show up and probably be grumpy about it, but hey, she's a cat. That's what she does. Anyways, hopefully you guys are able to try some of these decks out. I'll have better deck recommendations after we see some data, some results in a couple of days after like the day 1 pouch review. So stay tuned for all that content. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Good luck on your day 1 in Titans. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.